Hi, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Kathy. We are getting really excited about summer reading at Skokie Public Library. Every summer at the library is super fun, but this one is especially close to our hearts. This year, we are celebrating our friends and neighbors.
I'm so glad we're friends. With good friends and neighbors on our minds, we wanted to share a quote by the world's best neighbor, Mr. Rogers. When I was a boy, I used to think that strong meant having big muscles, great big physical power. But the longer I live, the more I realize that real strength has much more to do with what is not seen. Real strength has to do with helping others. Isn't that the epitome of being a good neighbor? Just being there for each other, both locally and globally. This quote and so many others can be found in The World According to Mr. Rogers by, obviously, Fred Rogers. There's something in this book for everyone, something that will make you feel better if you're feeling bad, or a different way to look at the world when you're feeling hopeless, or just, like a good neighbor, the sense that you're not alone.
My favorite way to be a good neighbor? Food! Restaurateurs Ryan Angula and Doug Crowell set out to open a place where neighbors could gather and eat delicious French bistro-inspired food. They collect their winning recipes in their cookbook, Kindness and Salt. Recipes for the care and feeding of your friends and neighbors. So Caitlin, the next time you come over, I expect lemon poppy seed buttermilk cake and huckleberry jam.
Here you go!
Wow.
You ever wonder what's going on in your neighbor's house? I have. The Neighbors by Einet Sarfati. Here, a precocious red-headed girl imagines the lives and dwellings of each of her neighbors as she makes her way up to her own home on the 7th floor of an apartment building. Each is more fantastic than the last. My favorite is the pirate's house, which naturally smells like pickled fish, until she reaches hers. So boring. Or so she thinks.
My neighbors are great, but sometimes neighbors don't get along, as is the case in The Woman Next Door by Yewande Amatosho. Hortensia James and Marian Agostino have been neighbors and sworn enemies for over 20 years in post-apartheid South Africa. Both recently widowed, they find themselves in the strange situation of needing each other. But can they set their differences aside? Like Helen Simonson's Major Pettigrew's Last Stand, The Woman Next Door explores race, aging, and immigration in a heartfelt and humorous way. A great choice for book clubs.
So we've established that some neighbors can be wonderful and some neighbors can be better, but what about our furry neighbors?
Furry? Neighbors?
Yeah. Remind me to tell you about my skunk tenant, Duncan, who lives under the front stoop. But I'm not the only one with stories. Ann Downer wrote Wild Animal Neighbors, a compilation of true-life tales about the critters we share space with. And I'm not talking about mice and mosquitoes. I'm talking about mountain lions on Main Street, coyotes in the Quiznos, from backyard bears to horror show bed bugs. This book is filled with stories of intrepid interlopers among us.
Ugh. I do not like horror show bedbugs, or horror show scary movies for that matter. I think The Shining did me in. But if I did, and if Caitlin did, I bet we would do a show very similar to the one found in Rain and Delilah's Midnight Matinee by Jeff Zedner. Best friends Delilah and Josie love old horror movies, and every Friday night they assume their alter egos of Rain Ravenscroft and Delilah Darkwood to host a local cable show featuring low-budget horror and sci-fi flicks. But they are about to graduate high school, and that will likely be the end of the show. But could it also be the end of their friendship?
That would never happen to us.
No.
But on a related note, it is now totally clear that we need Talkin' Books alter egos. Henceforward, for the duration of this video, I will be Betty Bibliophile's sweet-natured story timer with a taste for lemon poppy seed buttermilk cake and huckleberry jam. What do you think I was going to say?
And I will be Lydia Librarian, wisecracking book maven with a tough shell but a heart of gold. I put the pop in Popular Services Supervisor. And on that note, Betty and I must bid you adieu. Until next month, keep your friends close and have an extra cup of sugar on hand for that neighbor who might need it.
Leave your favorite book or wild animal in the city story in the comments. Then join us next month for another episode of Talkin' Books with Caitlin and Kathy.
Bye.
Bye.